the night is long, I will...
Keysel's in the place.
Early on, I had the fear of kind of going too new age, you know, because I come from a folk background. And I think that just like, I would catch myself within certain boundaries, kind of like, okay, that's a bit too much, you know, and I kind of like find ways to reinvent some of the medicine stuff that I was listening to within a folk vein.
Let's start again. Let me go ahead and figure it out.
Until the morning comes.
Let me see.
The song that you shared at Song Circle was really nice.
Which one is that? Which one is that? Another one. We've been opening the space for folks to experience and also perform intentional music. And some people kind of like feel it's like, okay, well, music, what is music? It seems like it's kind of everywhere now. You can kind of click a button, right? And you could just hear anything that you want to hear, or kind of switch on to whatever station you want to listen to. And I know me myself, as I was growing up, I took it a little bit for granted, right? But then, you know, I started seeing how it affected my life when it became more deeply rooted in what I did, because I was always there. I always did music. But then when I began to really bring that intention as to how can I continue this path of benefit through music, I began to realize that music has a great power to bring people together and also create a great intentionality behind prayer. It can add power to prayer. You know, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a mistake that our ancestors, a lot of the chants that are done, you hear them from different cultures, there's tonality to them. You know, they're not just spoken word. There's strings of notes and rhythms, and sometimes the accompaniment of different instruments that creates a sort of vibration that people can come into, can make sense of the world. There's some words that are out there that don't necessarily have an English equivalent, like house, for example. You know, the word before all words from the Hunikuan language. You know, it's those types of vibrations that sometimes can confuse the more discursive parts of the mind to enter, I think, into a space of creating more of a moment, you know, that space of connection, that space of aliveness. And I think that's more important now than ever. I think it's more important now than ever to do that with music, to do that with vibration. And I kind of questioned myself, you know, when I was planning that song circle with all the world events that were going on. You know, it's like, wow, you know, I feel it's like, is this worthwhile to create these types of events, to have so many people celebrating when it feels as though the world might be burning? And I thought to myself, I think yes. I think in fact, it's more important now than ever to celebrate the deep intentionality and vibration of music. I think because there's a prayer in there when you're doing it through intentional music. And I think our prayers need to be stronger than ever. Our belief in music, our belief in vibration has to be stronger than ever. For us musicians, I think it's the only thing that we can do that sometimes makes sense in the world. So I think that why not do it as best as that we can, you know, with as much vibration, with much love that we can, so that we can bring folks into, I think, a better way to view the world, you know, a more harmonious way.